Good morning, Washington. Welcome to Dave TV for the 8th of July, 2012. 8th of July. I'll tell you, when I was a kid, I lived up in Woodbury, actually West Deptford Township, New Jersey, and one of my best friends was a guy named Billy. And he was my age, so this was what, 1968 to 72, and so we were both 10, 11, 12, 13 in this period of living up there. And he's one of my best friends, and we hung around a lot. We built model airplanes and model rockets and watched the space shots and the moon landing and crashed rockets and burned things up and drove our bikes around the cemetery behind our house. And he had a couple older sisters, and one of his older sisters worked in Philadelphia, and she would take these two boys. We were like 12 at the time, and we would just let them. She would go into work in Center City, Philly, and just let us wander around the city at 12 or 13. And we'd go to the Mint and the Wax Museum and Independence Mall and the whole thing. It was wild. Liberty Bell. You never let a 12 or 13 bunch of 12 or 13-year-old boys do that in a center part of a city these days, would you? But it was fun. So anyhow, we moved down here. Dad moved the family down to Reston, Virginia, Washington area in 1972, and that was it pretty much. I never heard of Billy again. I did hear through a couple friends that he went to VPI and I went to Jamie, but we never got together, and I completely lost track of him. A couple of months ago, I'm on Facebook, and I just said, what the hell? I typed his name in. He has a last name that's kind of, not real typical. So boom, boom, boom. And guess what? I found him. It's so funny. Working at went into a hotel. What did he go in? He majored in something like restaurant management or something at VPI at Virginia Tech. And is now the manager of a Hooters in Raleigh, North Carolina. And it's kind of interesting to rekindle old relationships. Well, anyhow, today's his birthday, so happy 54 to Billy Moesta. Billy Moesta, there's his name, down in Raleigh, North Carolina. 54 today, July 8th. All right, folks, what's the big news today? I don't know, maybe I'm just I'm not really a journalist or whatever, but I don't know. I have this intense feeling that when you're a journalist for a newspaper, you don't interview sources that will also work for your paper. Unless the story's about your paper. I mean, yeah, if, say, Paul Farhi and Eric Wemple get in a big fight, then get arrested, and the Washington Post wants to do a story on it, I can understand the Washington Post wanting to interview Paul Farhi or Eric Wemple to see what happened. That's okay. But if you're doing a story on the weather, and a front page story on the weather in the Washington Post about how it got real hot yesterday, blah, 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 you don't interview people that work for the Post to be sources in your story. Even if they maybe are legitimate weather sources, it just looks bad, And, of course, you go to paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, paragraph 5. The Washington Post Capitol Weather Gang offered a smidgen of solace for those praying for relief, ... So by paragraph 5 in their front page story, they're already interviewing themselves in the Washington Post. That's just another symptom of how this poor, great, wonderful newspaper has become a mediocre rag in the last few years. I tell you, somebody at the Post, the ombudsman or Mr. Broccoli or whatever, should suddenly realize, great newspaper, that you don't interview your own people for stories, even if somebody at the paper may be an expert on something, you don't do that. You maybe use it as background, and then you go out and you interview the National Weather Service or other people, third party. You don't interview your own people for a story. You just don't do that. You don't. It's lazy. It's sloppy. It's subpar journalism. It looks bad. It looks, I'll just call down to the Capitol Weather Gang down there on the, down across the couple offices away and see what the story, it's just lazy. I don't know. So then I'm also looking through the Washington Post and the old Ombudsman's column, which of course that would be an interesting. I think that would be an interesting future column for him to investigate why Washington Posties interview other Washington Posties for articles. But anyhow, he does a nice piece on storm coverage that needed more energy, and he was basically criticizing the Washington Post coverage of the big derecho storm that hit on the 30th and the week-long power outages. Wow. And he basically says the Post didn't do as good a job as it should have done. However, he does praise the Post, Mark Fisher and Mike DeBonis and some other people who, did some good articles. And I kind of agree with that. I think most of the storm coverage could have, whether it's radio or TV, could have been better. But you have to hand it, I think, probably the best to WTOP, because they were there 24/7 in the days after the storm with their, radio coverage of what was going on. And I also have to thumbs up to good old WNEW, the new all newser here in Washington. I think they did a good job too. I really do. And I think it was a smart move to put WNEW on 94.7 for a few days so it could be better heard in the Washington area. And I think, as I've said before, they should move that signal station to 94.7 permanently. I really do. The PPM ratings, you're not going to get decent PPM ratings without a decent, solid signal. And that's the one thing WNEW lacks in the Washington market. They need to be on 94.7. Interesting little tidbit here from the DCR-TV archive of memories. Look at this, a Washington Nationals ball back when they were on. Can you see that there? It's hard to see, isn't it? Back when they were on 3WT, remember that? That was the Post. That was Bonneville's Post, Washington Post. Oh, tastes good. A little keychain. Of course, they're now on what, JFK, and who knows? I don't know where they are. I guess they're on JFK, right? Sometimes, and sometimes they're on Hubbard's Federal News Radio, whatever the heck. But anyhow, nice little memory. What else is going on? Okay, I thought I'd do a really quick little look here at some of the subchannels. A quick subchannel update, okay? The Washington areas, what subchannels are we getting? All digital TV stations have subchannels. So let's see what we're getting on the subchannel lineup. We get, here we go. This is channel 50, Antenna TV. Okay, so we get old shows like Hazel and stuff like that. And, of course, we're still getting, this is WUSA. This is actually usually the Weather Radar channel, but on Sunday mornings they put kiddie shows on so they can meet their FCC requirement to carry kiddie shows without actually having to carry them on the main channel. So, anyhow, this would usually be the Doppler 9000 radar weather. And then we get Doug Hill's Weather Now, or just plain old Weather Now, whatever they're calling it these days. And there you can see the big line of storms up there in Buffalo. Headed here! And then there's, okay, this is the new one here. Now, this used to be Retro TV on Channel 7. Now it's the Live Well network on Channel 7. So no more Retro TV, no more of those classic TV shows. We're now into cooking and health shows on LWN. And then we're also getting this TV, Channel 50. Just a mix of cool old movies and stuff that you've probably forgotten about. WUSA has Bounce TV, an African-American network. A lot of Soul Train on there. And this is Channel 4's Non-Stop channel. And then we have to jump up to 265 here on Comcast for WETA UK. This is one of my favorite new channels, actually. A lot of cool stuff on here. 24/7, really cool old British shows. Lots of good stuff on WETA UK. And then WETA's Kids channel. And then the WETA relays their high-def signal in standard def. And then we get MPT2. And we get MPT's Veme Spanish channel. And then we get WNDO's LATV. And then we get all the 10 subchannels there from channel. Actually, they're all channel 50. Channel what are they now? Channel 30 WNVT. We get the main channel, the Worldview channel, which has a whole bunch of stuff on it. We get NHK World, CCTV News in English, CCTV's documentary channel. That's China State Television. We get Al Jazeera. What is this? So, oh, this is the documentary channel. What was that other channel? That was the French channel, right? And there's Russian TV, the French channel. Oh, here's the French channel. That was Russian. That was RTV. 274 is Russia TV, right? So the RT channel, right? So we got RT, we got the Al Jazeera, we get okay. There's the CCTV documentary channel in English. There's France 24. There's RT in Spanish, and then we get this Arirang Korean TV and Ethiopian TV. Yeah. Okay, so that is the lineup of the sub-channels that you can now get in the Washington area in addition to the main TV channel. So that's that. All right, folks. Oh, another thing. What am I watching? I just give you this. This is a nice feature. Really great movie here, Film Unfinished here, about the Nazis making a documentary, making a filming the Warsaw Ghetto back in those horrible days of World War II, 42 and whatever. Really interesting, fascinating little film here. Friend lent this to me the other day, and I really found it fascinating. Check it out. It's fairly recent release on a oscilloscope. Never heard of them, but they do have some interesting documentary stuff. Check it out. That's what I'm watching these days, in addition to Breaking Bad. Season premiere next Sunday. Looking forward to that. All right, thanks for watching Dave TV for this Sunday, the 8th of July, 2011. Heat wave almost over. So there.